All right, next topic is going to be something that is falling into a different category. It's going to cover all three subjects, science, religion, and philosophy in a way, but it's also going to be going back in kind of on to the ground level because on this show I have a lot of tag phrases, things like, going ever forward and build me a bridge or walk me across the bridge. Another one, though, is going to be, and you'll see that this is going to happen from time to time, will be the tagline will be, I might be, this could be a stupid question. And this could be a stupid question. I don't know if it is or not. They say, well, there's no stupid questions, but I hear them all the time. I seem to ask them every once in a while. So maybe this is, maybe it isn't. We'll find out. All right. Topic number 3, artificial free will. Can we build AI with free will, even if we don't have it ourselves? All right. Free will is a subject that has been debated throughout millennia. It's just, do we have free will? Don't we have free will? Is free will something that is fundamental to us, or is it not? And so, let me just start out by a definition of free will. This is from Britannica.com. All right, I'm just going to read this to you. It says, free will in philosophy and science is the supposed power of capacity of human beings to make decisions and perform actions independently of any prior event or state of the universe. Arguments for free will have been based on the subject experience of freedom, on sentiments of guilt, on revealed religion, and on the common assumption of individual moral responsibility that underlies the concepts of law, reward, punishment, and incentive. I mean, effectively, what we're talking about there is people are actually making a choice independent of things that came before it, things that exist currently, or things that are in the future. And that's the concept of free will. And we all, I think, would like to think we have free will. But the question is, do we? All right, that's one of the questions. I'm building a different question here. That's the baseline question. All right, there's obviously a great deal of philosophical thought that no, we don't, and that falls into the category of determinism. There's 2 or 3 different types of determinism in the main categories. The first is hard determinism. The second is soft determinism. Let me give you the definitions to get that out of the way first. Hard determinism, this is also coming from Britannica.com. And it says, determinism entails that in a situation in which people make a certain decision or perform a certain action, it is impossible that they could have made any other decision or performed any other action. In other words, it is never true that people could have decided or acted otherwise than they actually did. That's hard determinism. Basically, exactly contrary to free will, saying we don't have a choice in everything. Things have have already been set in motion that it's impossible to deviate from that path. You have to make the decision you're going to make. Soft determinism is a slightly watered down version of that. This is coming from simplypsychology.org. Definition is this. Soft determinism, also known as compatibilism, is the belief that determinism is compatible with free will and moral responsibility. In other words, soft determinism states that even though all events in the world are predetermined by what came before them, it is still possible for people to have free will and thus morally responsible for their actions. I find that a little harder to understand. I mean, hard determinism, it's pretty easy to know. That's basically saying you don't have any choice. Soft determinism is saying, well, things have already been predetermined, but you still have free will. You can still choose things. And it seems almost self-contradictory, but maybe what it is can free will be the thing that determines the path that was taken? And it gets murky for me on that subject. So, I mean, if you guys know anything about that, if you have a little bit more detail on what soft determinism is versus hard determinism, and it's not the craziest topic in the world, but it's fascinating to me. I'd love to know your thoughts. Also, I want to build in here something that you don't hear too often, but it does build into the question. It really feeds into the question of, do we have free will? And it's from a scientific point of view, and it's from Albert Einstein, of all people, of course, Albert Einstein. Right? And he said, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. That's a really cool quote. And it's coming from Albert Einstein himself. But the idea there is that everything's all happening at once. There's no past, there's no present, there's no future. So if that's the case, then there's no free will according to that concept, because you've already made the choice. There's no, it's happening. The future's happened already, so there isn't any It's already preset. At least that's the concept that people are looking at when dealing with this quote and this concept from Einstein. And I'm not saying that there is free will. I'm not saying that there's not free will. I'm not taking a position either way, except in this limited instance, what I'm doing is I'm assuming that there's no free will. I'm assuming determinism is the order of the day, and hard determinism at that there is no free will. You can't make a choice. We just don't have that capacity. And it seems like that's a majority view, by the way, when I'm looking at it. It seems like most people at least have most scientists, most thinkers, even a lot of people in philosophy, even a lot of people in the religious category, believe that free will does not exist. Well, I shouldn't say I'm going to walk that back on the religious people. But philosophy and science, they really are saying, determinism is more grounded in reality. Well, if that's the case, can we, even if that's the case, even if we don't have free will ourselves, can we build an artificial intelligence that does? That's my question. And I said, maybe that's a stupid question, but maybe it's not. What we're looking at there is, AI, as we know, can do things that we can't do. A lot of things that we can't do. And there's still things that, are coming that we have no idea where it's going. So artificial intelligence could certainly going to surpass our level of ability to crunch the numbers, so to speak, and do innumerable other things. So the question that I have is, can it also do what we can't do, assuming we don't have free will? Can it either A, can we build it so that it does, or B, maybe even more likely, could it develop its own free will as it develops forward in time? I think it's important, especially if we're looking at and in a previous show, I defined two different types of AI. One is autonomous AI, and the other is integrative. Autonomous is we human beings are out of the picture, and AI is carrying on as a separate being or separate entity on its own without human involvement. Integrated AI or integrative AI is what I refer to as human beings cooperating and fusing with artificial intelligence. And if that's the case, that second one prevails. And if we can integrate ourselves into that and AI is able to have free will, then maybe we do the seemingly impossible, which is to not have free will to start with, but then create it ourselves through fusing with AI and going forward and having free will. To me, it's maybe it's not a stupid question. Maybe it's a serious one. And if you find it is, I'd love to know your thoughts. I certainly want to talk with AI experts. Nick Bostrom would be a great one. So if he's out there listening, Nick, give me a call. We'd love to have you on the show. Seems unlikely, but you never know. Anyway, it would be wonderful to have comments on this in the bottom in the comment section of YouTube. Go to the website, which is exusthepodquest.com. Let me know your thoughts. And let me know what takes you have on it and any other offshoots that might happen. This is kind of an open kind of a question that I'm examining here today. So if you have some other thoughts, some ideas, comments, whatever it might be, let us know. So like I like to say, I'll go to the website, exusthepodquest.com, give us the comments, give us the likes, all the rest of it. You go there and we'll go ever forward.